Well, hello. Welcome back to my channel. My name is NANDY, and I'm the author of a few books. Today we're going to read some articles from this book titled Our Real Identity. This book is my bestseller, and it sold out very quickly in print format. But it's available now in ebook format. So today's topic is basically, this is an introduction. This book is about explaining to us what is our real identity. Many of us believe that our body and mind is what makes up man's identity. But from the ancient Hindu scriptures, we are enlightened on what our real identity is. So this book is based on the Bhagavad Gita and also the Viveka Chudamani by Sri Adi Shankaracharya, who is an ancient sage. So I'm going to read out certain few articles from this book, which will help us understand what is our real identity. And most of our problems in life are caused because we do not know what is our real identity. So when we discover or uncover what is our real identity, we're able to eradicate a lot of sorrows in our minds and hearts. And this was taught to me at the ashram that I lived at in India by genuine gurus. So the first article in this book is Thinking We Are the Body Causes Sorrow. There is an urgent need for everyone to truly understand what or who he or she is as a physical manifestation on earth. First of all, it would be noteworthy to realize that man is not his body or mind. This may come as a shock to many because no one had told us this before. From the time we were born, we have been given the wrong information that made us think that we are made up of this material body and no more. And when it comes to the idea of the soul, we simply know it as something that is inside of us and know nothing else about it. But the truth is far from that. Man, in essence, is in fact a phenomenal being that cannot be comprehended by his own mind. The mind tries to comprehend everything thinking it can, based on the ego that it thrives on. Because of this noisy and egoistic mind, the being believes that it is the body and mind mix. But not everything in life can be worked out by the mind. Some things can only be experienced, such as the self. The confusion between the self and the non-self is the root cause of all of man's problems on earth. Once this is cleared up, and the individual clearly understands this, his real self and identity, his or her life starts to become blissful and perfect. The only way to clear this confusion is through knowledge. So this leads to the next subject topic, and the title is, What is our real identity? Many believe that our names, designations, wealth and assets or possessions, qualifications and relationships are what creates a person's identity. This is not true. The real identity of a person is never in anything outside of him. When we truly understand that our real identity is in nothing physical or material, such as the already mentioned, which also includes our physical body, life starts to become peaceful and beautiful. We start to feel limitless, invincible. Our bodies and minds do not create our identity, nor do our possessions or relationships. Man's real identity is beyond anything material and exists within and without him. The investigation or query into the self must be taken seriously if one wishes to live a life free from incidences and sorrow. The next topic: mind and body, cause of all sorrow. When we think that we are our bodies and minds, that is the cause of all our suffering on earth. The body relies on external things for its survival and pleasures. So it is a pleasure-seeking device, so to speak. This seeking of pleasures to please its senses is the root cause of all of man's pains on earth. Our desires and wants causes sorrow. It does this with the aid of the mind. The mind sees certain objects of desire and creates an attachment to these objects by repeatedly thinking of them. When these objects are obtained, the mind and body, also ego, a part of the mind, becomes happy. However, if the senses do not get what they seek to have, the being or person becomes unhappy, sad, or sometimes violent. This is what desire does to a human being. Desire is said to be the cause of anger. On the other hand, when we do get something we desire and think that it has brought us happiness, that happiness or pleasure too fades away soon enough. All these external pleasures are always temporary, but the real self of a man is permanent, constant, and unchanging, and does not depend on or need anything material at all to be happy. Lord Krishna, on explaining the transitory effect of sensual objects to Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, said, "O son of Kunti, Arjuna, when the senses come in contact with their sensual objects, one begins to feel, through the senses, feelings of heat, cold, pain, and pleasure. These feelings last only for a short time. They will come and go. Bear with them patiently, dear Arjuna." He continues to say, "Only he who is not affected by these senses and sensual objects becomes immortal, free, for he is considered the best of men because he is well balanced in pain and pleasure." That's from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verses 14 and 15. Therefore, anything that is not permanent and seems to be fleeting or temporary is not the real self of a person and should not be entertained or perceived as real. These desires that we have are only to cater to the demands and needs and feelings of the body and senses. The body and senses are not who we are. These fleeting objects and pleasures are but temporary and will not bring joy to the being on a permanent basis. Everyone must strive to know his real self, to end sorrow in life, so that he or she may experience bliss while on earth. This knowledge and path lead to liberation, or moksha, as their end destination, the goal for every soul. It starts with self-liberation, and liberation is only in the knowledge of liberation, nothing else. The unreal does not exist, and the real always exists. Those with peaceful, pure, and wise minds know the truth about both the real and unreal. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 16. I will end there. So basically, what these 3 chapters are trying to explain to us, and what I was taught at the ashram by the gurus, is our real identity cannot be something that changes. Like, if we look at our bodies, we were born as babies, and then teenagers, and then adulthood, and then it'll grow old, and one day it'll drop. So it is always changing. But who is noticing these changes? You and I, we notice these changes of our body. So the body cannot be our real identity. But the force that observes these changes, that is the real identity, because that doesn't change. It has noticed us from the time we were children all the way till our grown-up age and till our old age. So that force, also known as the Atma or soul, is our real identity. The entire body of the ancient Hindu spiritual scriptures only tries to explain to us what is our real identity. And after we have realized our real, true identity, which is the soul, we become liberated from the shackles of worldliness. For as long as we think that we are the body and mind, for as long as we associate ourselves with the body and mind, thinking we are this and our possessions is what creates our identity, we will never be happy. I'm going to continue reading from this book in the next episode. So please do subscribe to this channel, because you will find liberation through this channel and peace. Thank you very much for spending your time with me. And if you'd like to purchase this book in ebook format, please go to my website, which is www.joynandy.co/ebooks. I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you. Bye-bye.